Welcome to the Danny Clinkscale Reasonably Irreverent podcast. Insightful and witty commentary, probing interviews, and detours from the beaten path.
Welcome to Arts and Lifestyle Wednesday, presented by Cinematic Visions, and it's time for another riveting and spectacular edition of Reconcilable Differences with Danny and Jane. We've got plenty to talk about. We've been power coupling. We actually went to the movies physically. We've been out and about at a winery with Willie along, and he's relaxing over to my left here, and he had a good time. His first outing there. That's not for Charlie. We'll get into that a little bit. We watched a great, quick, half-hour Young Frankenstein documentary last night. That was really fun. It's one of Jane's absolute favorites. We've got a little, one of the things Jane's involved with is the Youth Chorus of Kansas City. They have a need, and we'll visit with that. We'll visit on a maybe very unknown side of Jed Clampett, Buddy Ebsen, and give you a little rabbit hole on that. Jane has continued her, seemingly now lifelong love affair with Greta Garbo, and we watched another silent film last night with the very good John Gilbert, and his story is kind of interesting, and they made quite a few movies together. And Jane is now adorning our kitchen as a spectacular addition in the lovely plush toy of the tiny chef. He sits upon the Instapot, towering over the rest of the kitchen and shouting out orders in his own. Jane can do the imitation later. So lots to explore today on Reconcilable Differences with Danny and Jane. Let's get to it. Lots of fun straight ahead right here on Arts and Lifestyle Wednesday, presented by Cinematic Visions and this great edition of Reconcilable Differences with Danny and Jane.
More of Danny's Reasonably Irreverent podcast after this.
Cinematic Visions has been an affordable solution for professional media production in Kansas City since 2003, offering award-winning video production and creation, as well as a wide array of digital and social media management services. From planning, scripting, filming, editing, and post-production, to delivering your product to a watching world, Cinematic Visions will provide professional and affordable services for you and your business with the necessary return on investment to make it all worthwhile. Cinematic Visions' goal is to unlock the power of storytelling through video and a strong online presence for your company. Beyond the numbers, they want to inspire and evoke your clients to feel and act. Let my friends at Cinematic Visions embed your brand where it belongs, in your customers' minds. You can find them online at cinematicvisions.com or with a quick phone call at 816-600-6300.
Did you experience hail damage last year and never got the work done? Most insurance companies only give you a year to get the roof fixed, and if you don't get it done, you could possibly not be compensated in full for the replacement of your roof. If you've been procrastinating getting that damaged roof taken care of, give us a call at 913-257-5426, and we'll send out an expert to help you through the process. We're never pushy, we're just here to help. Easton Roofing. Integrity matters.
If you'd like to join these and other fine sponsors and market your business to Kansas City's #1 variety podcast, contact us at danny@dannyclinkscale.com. Look forward to working with you. Here we sit in Jane's office speaking to you. Well, we spoke to the public on Monday, and we're very, very happy to be invited to speak to the Overland Park Rotary, a nice gathering for their lunchtime event at the Doubletree in Overland Park. And we originally, I think, were going to be asked to speak separately, and then it sort of morphed into us going together, and we actually sort of made our own little presentation and then answered questions. It was a nice gathering. There was a visiting Rotarian from India. There were some nice guests. It was really fun.
Oh, we had a blast. Danny talked a lot about his history in broadcasting and his life, and then they had me. They wanted me to talk about my opera background and then kind of jump into my business. So it was really fun. Thank you, Trent Danzel from Olson.
There, I was going to make sure that Trent got his mention. Always looking dapper and a great host, and the food was good. Everything was good. The Rotary is they're going to be consolidating with the South Overland Park Rotary soon, so look out for that. They're going to have their meetings on Wednesday. It's a great group. They have great speakers like us.
They were very attentive.
They were. And one thing that's interesting is I've done quite a few of these, and especially when I had my book out, I did. And you make presentations all the time, but not about yourself. And you had more trepidation, I think, about speaking about yourself than you would about other things.
Well, I've kind of gotten that way. As I said to the group, I'm used to singing for my supper when we're talking about opera, not talking about my opera career. So that was kind of fun, actually. I think they seemed to enjoy it more than I thought they would.
Well, you talked about a wide variety of things, including your upcoming recitals. So since we don't have that many reconcilables before then, why don't you promote your 2 recitals you have coming up?
Okay, guys. I know you may not like opera, but I've got a Jerome Kern set, so think about that. If you want to come join us, I'll be singing Friday, September 20th at noon at the Westport Presbyterian at their Brown Bag Lunchtime Concert. I'm also singing Monday, October 21 at Johnson County Community College at their Ruel Joyce recital series at the Polsky Theater. So come join the fun.
Well, I'm going to be playing golf with some prize winners, and we'll probably do something again like that here in the near future tomorrow up at Tiffany Greens, and that will be a lot of fun. And it's always a great opportunity for me to get out and play golf, which I don't get to do quite as much as I used to, but I do practice more than I used to because I can get in a nice 45 minutes, hour and a half, however long I feel, practice now instead of a full round of golf, and it provides a lot of enjoyment for me. I will say that when there is a goal ahead, like I'm going to actually play golf a couple of days hence or a week, I find that a little more invigorating than just practicing for absolutely nothing per se, although I still enjoy it. And practice is something you do all the time with your singing. And is it more motivating when you have something coming up, or you just enjoy singing, period, or what?
Oh, there's no question. For me, it's like if you've got a goal, you get revved up. There's no question. It's just like sports. I mean, you got to have the game. You got to have the game day.
That's right. And the thing is, for instance, and nothing is ever guaranteed in this world of practice, I had one of my probably better practice sessions in years that I had when I practiced yesterday, which will be my final practice before I play the golf on Wednesday, the day this will come out. But there's no guarantees. I can just see myself on the 7th hole having crapped the bed already in the round and say, gee, I practiced so well the other day.
Believe, Danny, believe.
Yeah, we believed that we had spent too much time not sitting inside a movie theater, and Jane had some errands up in the Northland the other day, refreshing our outdoor patio furniture.
Yes.
Very exciting. So we had a couple of errands to run up north, so we decided, hey, why don't we coincide it with a trip to the Barry Rhodes AMC? And there's not very many movies out right now that, I'm really all that fired up about. There's a lot of it's summertime, so there's a lot of the big blockbusters and, things that people take their kids to or just enjoy, and those movies that have been made, several different items of them, and the superstar big blockbuster movies. I'm not usually much for those, but we went and saw a little quiet. So there was one movie I actually researched and thought I would like to go see, and it was called My Penguin Friend, which is a 2024 English language Brazilian-American family adventure film. It's directed by David Sherman, and it stars Jean Reno and Adriana Barraza. Both actors have been highly acclaimed through their careers. Reno has been nominated for a Screen Actors Guild acting award before, and Ms. Barraza once was nominated for an Academy Award for Basel in 2006. It's a sweet little movie that's based on a true story about a Brazilian fisherman. I won't give away the spoiler at the beginning, but anyway, he's kind of in a sad state mentally. And one day, a penguin he spots when he's out in the water, sees a penguin that is struggling, and it turns out that the penguin is injured and is covered with oil, and he rescues the penguin and brings it back to health, at first much to the consternation of his wife, but then she, of course, grows to like him as well. It's a movie, but it's also true. Anyway, the upshot of this is then every year for several years, the penguin goes back to its natural habitat, which is 5,000 miles away, and every year he returns. And it's just a lovely story, and he befriends the penguin, and at one point is asked, is this your pet? He goes, no, it is my friend.
Yes. There's quite a backstory here. We're not going to tell you everything. It's an amazingly endearing film. I would highly recommend going to see it no matter what age you are. If you got kids, definitely see it. I mean, everybody was riveted in the movie theater. I could tell everyone was totally engrossed in this little thing. And it's kind of an amazing thing that the penguins do when they do that habitual, swim back to their habitat. And how he ever found his way on this shoreline is still a mystery. So it's worth it.
And of course, there's little dramatic flourishes. It's based on a true story, but I don't know how much of it is exactly true, and I haven't researched that yet. I think the story itself is true because it went viral. They did stories about this man and interviewed him on Brazilian television, and he was reluctant at first to do that, so it was his own kind of personal thing, but he eventually did, and the TV crew becomes sort of part of his family almost. And it's really just it's well acted, it's quiet, there's enough drama and pathos in it, and just a waddling penguin is one of the most delightful things on earth. So I can highly recommend it too. As you said, you can bring your children. When we were at that theater, there weren't many children there. There was mostly adults, and it was a nice crowd, and they enjoyed the movie, and we enjoyed it very much. My Penguin Friend is the name of it, and I think it'll be out for a while. There's a good crowd that day, so if you don't want to just see action or animation or something else, a real-life, lovely penguin story might be right up your alley.
Heartfelt, very heartfelt.
We were speaking to my mom the other day because it's recently been my birthday, and she sent me a card, and I wanted to call her and thank her, and we were driving somewhere, and the somewhere turned out to be Somerset Ridge Winery, and my mom said, "You guys are always headed somewhere fun. You're always doing something." Well, we aren't always doing something, but it often
maybe
coincides.
We're always calling her.
We're always calling her when we are going somewhere because it's a convenient time to have some driving time and spend, not have a limited amount of time with my mom. And she was great, and she's in great health. Her 80th birthday is upcoming in early October, or 90th birthday, actually. And she's doing great, and she's in great health, and I think, still adjusting to the loss of my dad earlier this year, but that really in the end was a blessing. Anyway, we were going to Somerset Ridge Winery, which is in Lewisburg. It's just down the road from the cider mill, and it's a place we discovered, I don't know, probably 10 years ago now, and it has evolved over time. It's a lovely spot. Many of you may have gone there, but it's just gotten better and better, the way the logistics of how they've set it up. Now they have more, covered seating with umbrellas, and the actual performing stage is a little more elaborate, and there's always a food truck there. They do this on Saturday and Sunday afternoons from 2 to 4-ish, and we went a couple of Saturdays ago, and we brought Willie with us, and he had just a grand time.
Oh man, does he get he just acclimates immediately. It's a fascinating thing.
And everybody loves Willie. I mean, there's nobody, I don't know anybody who couldn't just love the sight of a corgi, and they always look like they're smiling and happy, and he's a very engaging dog, and we're a little worried that he might be overstimulated, but he was not. He was good, and it's a lovely place, and you can take your dog off on a nice walk through the vineyard,
was fun.
The vineyard and everything else. And of course, Willie decided to roll around in some animal poop, so that wasn't especially great for the ride home. But anyway, it's nice. You can have a nice glass of wine. You can have little treats. And the
music's wonderful.
We tend to go on the days that the musician Jason Kane is there. He's a singer-guitarist, and he has a very nice way of interpreting, in his own way, songs that are familiar and people know and love. And he's just great. And he's friendly,
really great ambiance,
amiable, and he plays all around town. Jason Kane, Kayne. And if you see, some days we know, because we talked to him many times, that he will be playing on Saturday afternoon at Lewisburg and then packing up his stuff and going somewhere else and playing again. So he is around, and if you go see him, it's really just a beautiful thing to do, relaxing. There's usually somewhere between, 50 and 100 people there or so, and it's really nice. And they have a wide variety of wines, and that has evolved and expanded over the years. And I can just